Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The mayor has called this special council meeting to order. Mayor Roscoe?
Present.
Councilmember Bracken's not with us this evening. Councilmember Kaplan?
Here.
Councilmember London?
Here.
Vice Mayor Sardinius?
Here.
Councilmember Stoner?
Here.
Councilmember Vasquez?
He's around.
Mr. Mayor, we do have a quorum. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mr. Friedman, lead us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item, Mr. Mayor, is public comments.
Yes, Laudi Ibarra. Come on down.
Laudi Ibarra, 482 Fernwood Road. I'm here to speak on behalf of Venezuela. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our incredible Key Biscayne community for the amazing support during this difficult time. It has been truly touching to see so many people come together with such a generosity and compassion. From those collecting essential supplies to the wonderful group of children baking treats and making bracelets to raise money, to everyone keeping Venezuela in their prayers, and every act of kindness has meant so much. Sorry.
We're with you.
A special thank you as well to our brave firefighter from our community, Justin Connors, who is currently there helping on the ground.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the standing with Venezuela. Kindness and generosity and prayers means more than words can express. Thank you for reminding us that even from away, we are surrounded by love and support. Thank you.
Thank you. We're very proud to participate in the South Florida Task Force 2, and Captain Justin is part of that group. He's on the ground in Venezuela with 79 other members of that team that is part of the South Florida contingency that goes all across the world and all across the nation to help out in situations like this earthquake in Venezuela. So, Lally, thank you very much for being here and for expressing your thoughts about this situation and how the community comes together in very tough times like this. So, thank you very much. Let's go right into the special council meeting that we have to take on these 3 items. And then we'll have a special presentation. The purpose of tonight is really the budget workshop, so I'm gonna go really quickly through these
Move to the
3
consent
items.
agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Okay?
I'll move it.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay,
The
that
next,
was 5A.
yes, the next item is the first reading of a capital project authorizing ordinance of the Village Council of the Village of Key Biscayne, Florida, selecting V&G Construction Solutions Corp. For the Harbor Drive Milling, Resurfacing and Roadway Reconstruction Project in an amount not to exceed $2,384,688, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date.
Move. Second.
Thank you.
This is item on first reading. This is to do the Harbor Drive. And it'll be back on second reading on August 25th.
August 25th, yes, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, Council. Chris Miranda, Public Works Director for the village. This RFQ went out, and we had 12 respondents to the proposed bid. Two of the respondents did not meet the minimum qualifications, so they were set aside, but we did have 10 bidders that qualified. When we reviewed the project, the bids, we went through and we found that the lowest bidder did not have the necessary experience and did not show the necessary experience in this type of work for a municipality. So we are recommending the second lowest bidder, which is VNG Construction. This project is for the Harbor Drive roadway repavement project, which the county is assisting us with the funding. This is the JPA that we entered into agreement with them a few months prior. The total project will be, excuse me, I left my glasses back in the office.
2.3 million.
Yes, $2.3 million. And, oops, it's the wrong page, that's why. And,
Of
I'm
which the
sorry, I have my-
county's
my page.
contributing 1.9 million?
Correct, the county is putting 1.9 million. The project will include the 900 block of Harbor Drive, repaving that. That's why it's a little bit more than the low bidder, his proposal. His proposal was for 1.995. So the total project that we're asking for is 2.38. I don't have it in front of me, I apologize. 2.384.
688. I'm reading from,
You're reading? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're gonna have to take us all out to dinner here pretty soon.
Yes, I appreciate the help.
can I ask you one quick question?
Yes,
And I think you just clarified it, but I want to make sure. There was mention in here that the 800 block wasn't included, which is why we have to pay for it because it's not considered emergency
Right.
evacuation. But what you really mean there is the 800 and the 900, the whole Cape Florida section of Harbor Drive, right?
correct. That
Make sure.
end piece, thank you very much.
They're not
That end
contributing.
piece,
Obviously, they
They're
get it.
not paying for that, right?
the
So I
county
just
is not
wanted to
paying
make
for
sure
that
it's all of
portion.
it.
They are only paying
Right.
from Crandon Boulevard around up to the fountain on Mazda.
Does this include the roundabouts?
It includes repaving the roundabouts, and the roundabouts will be repaved with textured asphalt.
In other words, the brickwork now will be repaved with textured asphalt.
Will be replaced with textured asphalt. That's
Could the
correct. It will
bricks be removed?
Correct. It will be removed. That's included.
We talked about, it was brought up a few times about some type of pervious materials you're looking into for that. Did that make any sense on the roundabouts, and was it cost efficient?
We did do a study on that, and we found that it was extremely expensive. The county would not pay for it, would not assist us in any way. To do one roundabout was between, and I'm going off memory, I apologize, I believe it was 1.4 million to
enough.
$2 million, something in that nature.
Thank you.
Per roundabout.
We also had a little Q&A at the last meeting about roads and permeable surface, and I think you reported then that your analysis reveals nothing in the market that's really satisfactory.
Currently, we don't have anything in South Florida that is satisfactory to build those types of roads.
On a dollar basis, of course. So.
Correct, feasibly.
I have a quick question on the,
Yes.
thank you, Mayor. On the additional cost and the contingencies, what are those for?
We included some contingency money in case we have to go and add more asphalt, create more pitch, more crown, just for adjustments as may be necessary.
So you're anticipating that most of the contingencies would cover the surface, not anything underground or when they do rollers and applied additional?
No, contingency only
Compaction.
should we need additional payment, yes.
Okay. All right.
Additional area?
Additional asphalt, additional layer.
Yeah, but-
Additional area?
Layers.
no, you-
Layers.
But you're going to roll that with a compactor, right?
Yes, yes,
And so, okay, so you guys got the utility. If something happens, the contractor's not responsible for any
correct.
utilities or catch basins, old catch basins and things like that, and when they put the roller there.
I didn't hear the last
When
part. I'm
they,
sorry.
when they drive the roller,
Correct.
yeah,
If
right?
they damage it, they're
If they
responsible
did,
for it.
well, is that included in the contract? For damaging for any below-ground work?
There is no below-ground work. This is
I
a
know,
a
but
rotary
when you
milling.
put in that compactor, it's driving, I don't know how many tons of
Correct.
compaction, right?
Correct.
So I've seen, the reason why I'm saying it is kind of just to give you a heads up, there could be issues with if you have any surface utilities, water, or even if you have older catch basins, older structures, just giving you a heads up.
You're talking the impact to potential impact to underground use.
Potential impactors as a result of these 13-ton rollers that
Yeah,
go
that-
there.
that's
and
an
they,
unforeseen,
They
of
drive,
course,
and they
but-
vibrate, and they cause breaks, and usually something to consider. That's all. Just giving you a heads up.
Ultimately, if a contractor breaks a utility, they are responsible
You sure?
with their equipment. So yes, they would be responsible. The contingency, the intent of the contingency is for us to use if we needed or we wanted to add more asphalt, to make more crown, or to pitch the road a different way, things of that nature.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, ordinance before us. Any other questions?
Just I'm doing a little mental geography. The 800 block is before the circle.
No, it's
We're really
after the
talking
circle.
about Cape
After the
Florida.
circle to the end of Cape Florida.
Westmaster Drive,
That section makes sense, but
Westmaster Drive to the.
I think 800 block is before the circle.
No,
No, it's after.
Yeah, it's that tail.
800 block is before
Okay.
the circle. 800 block is, yes, before the circle.
Okay.
That's correct.
Chris, I told
He's
you.
right, 800 block is before the circle.
I think it's
there's
before
a
the
couple
circle.
of 800s,
told me
but
what?
there's also, I checked it,
Tail.
a couple after.
I could have
and
called it the tail, yes.
Okay, so I'm not
You're not crazy.
unimaginative in my mental geography.
No.
You're fine, baby, you're right.
Okay,
Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Kaplan?
yes.
Councilmember London?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sardinius?
Yes.
Councilmember Stoner?
Yes.
Councilmember Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Roscoe?
Yes.
The ordinance is approved on first reading. The next item is a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Key Biscayne, Florida, selecting various consultants pursuant to request for qualifications number 2026-03 for continuing architectural engineering and planning services, providing for authorization and providing for an effective date.
Move.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, my employer has documented business relationships with firms that are included in the recommended pool, more than one. And because of this vote, I spoke with the village attorney, and because it's just really a vote as a whole, so I have to recuse myself. Thank you.
Okay. See you later. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. So this RFQ went out for bid, and we had 22 respondents to 12 different disciplines under the architecture and engineering, I'm sorry, 37. Thank you. 37 respondents to the 12 disciplines.
You got that right.
Darren is here with us. We went through each discipline one by one. There was a committee that was formed of 5 individuals, as you can see in the memo. We rated each firm on each discipline individually. We broke it down. Each firm was given a score and a ranking, and then they were assigned what that ranking was based on each individual discipline. And I keep saying that, but it was quite a tedious task to go through and have to review the proposals of each firm for that discipline. So it's not like we reviewed one proposal one time. We reviewed each proposal as it met each discipline. The committee came out with the rankings for each firm, as I said, and the recommendation for each discipline and each firm. And I can go through each one of them, but I don't know that you guys want me to. This initial phase is to approve the selection of these firms for each discipline, and then we will come back to you with your authorization of that, we will come back to you after we negotiate the rate fees from each firm for each discipline. And we will present that back to you.
Okay? Question.
I have some questions and some concerns. I noticed that these were very large firm, heavy firms, all of them, large firm, heavy. I'm not sure if that's a good way to explain it, but I think and wonder why we didn't attract more smaller firms, local firms. Do we do anything to try and attract?
We did
local
have,
firms?
we did have some smaller firms that submitted. If I went through each one, I think,
Well, I see GIT was on there, but they didn't make the cut.
correct.
EAC has done work for us in the past. They didn't, I don't think they're even on there.
They
And of my own, thought of some other firms that we might want to be interested in. I don't know if legally we're allowed to reach out to them and ask them to apply or let them know.
They did apply. They were, their proposals were reviewed, and they were rated and ranked, but they weren't ranked as high as some of these other firms.
Well, we're not privy, I don't think, to the ranking, at least at this moment, to the ranking criterion. And I personally would like to see smaller local firms get extra points just for that.
The
I think
ranking criteria was in the RFQ, and you do have the rankings and ratings that were applied by each of
Okay.
the committee members in your packets.
Okay.
Yes.
If I could address some of her questions as well, council member. So we did reach out to all the firms that we've done business before, all the firms that we know of, to let them know this was coming out. We also held a, we did, Darren, right? Yeah, we did hold a pre-bid meeting in advance so that any firms that we had, we invited them to come in and ask questions. So exactly what you're saying, we attempted to do. We did prioritize their availability. You know, we do not have a small business preference in the village, but what we did try to do is identify firms that would have people readily available. You know, that could imply smaller firms that are more flexible. So they did put that into consideration. There are small firms here, but you are correct. There are a number of large firms that are across many disciplines, three in particular.
Right.
But I think we balanced it out, and I actually requested, through the procurement office, to make sure I was doing it correctly, to add 2 additional small firms in 2 of the sections so that we have a little more flexibility as well, because I recognize the same thing that you did as well.
Done this?
Yeah.
Go for it. The 2 firms there we've had experience with. One of them, Stantec, the dog park, I think the athletic field, the grass, a few other things, and I don't think experience was very good. It was actually very bad, and I could see they're here. And then ACOM, I mean, after what we've just gone through, to list ACOM is like smacking us in the face. Say, hey, I'm not saying they're not competent engineers, because I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're competent engineers and architects. They're a big firm, but they certainly, in my opinion, misled us. Now, again, I'm not blaming them. I was stupid. I listened to them. But I certainly would not reward them by putting them on a list to do business with them again.
They did provide a very, very substantial and qualified proposal.
I'm sure they did. I mean, they're a
Yes.
huge firm. We used them once before. We've had experience. We used Stantec. We've had experience, not good, and we're using them again. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me that, again, I understand only so many people applied and you had certain criteria, but maybe past experience should be part of that criteria. That's all.
Understood.
I don't know how anybody else feels about it.
I think we've had many discussions on this point, and you have an opinion that's not broadly shared in my estimation.
Fine.
I think we've come to feel, maybe not conclude, that there's a degree of scapegoating associated with this.
Scapegoat? What's that mean?
wanting to find someone to blame.
I'm not blaming them, I'm blaming our stupidity. I'm taking responsibility, I'm not trying to tell them. I just think they had responsibility to educate 6 people who are not experts in skills. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
okay, and they misled us. And I can give you incidents where they definitely misled us. Was it legal, what they said? Yes. But when they told us the system they proposed, which shocked us initially when the cost, was 3.2 inches of rain per water per hour, until we figured out when the cost, we got all upset. What really got me upset was when I found out how much rain came in an hour, what the probability of that occurring was, and said, wait a second, why don't you tell us, yeah, this could capture all the rain coming out of the skies, but this would cost us a fortune. So that's something, here's the alternatives. They didn't tell us that. They didn't do anything until we said, hey, with that meeting with them, I said, wait, this is too expensive before it happened. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't say their engineering is wrong. I'm not saying their calculations are wrong. Not at all.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Is there any reason that we couldn't defer deciding on this and see if we could get any more small firms to participate, or that ship has sailed?
No.
I'm not voicing the same opinion as Ed in terms of not wanting AECOM, not wanting Stantec because they're big, but I just would like to have more options of smaller firms first.
You could send it back and have it republished and reopen the ability to see qualifications. I don't think that that would prejudice any of the proposers, given that this is just on qualifications at this stage, if you'd like.
It is a 3 to 5 year commitment, and that's why I'm concerned that we have a broader.
Let's do something. Let's defer the item. I'd like
Nancy?
Nancy to work with you on that, and Chad, and see if we could come back with maybe a little different criteria, and then we can decide on which way to go.
Do I need to move to defer it, or we're
move
just?
So you could do consensus of council, but what date would you defer it to? Do you have a date?
We can bring it back August 25th.
Depends on what the outcome is.
Okay, that's true, yeah.
So
Yeah.
let us do some research, Mayor, and we'll
Okay.
come back. Because if we
And I
do
want
choose-
you to work with Councilwoman Stoner here so that we could see if that's a policy decision and that we want to go in that direction.
Thank you very much.
For what it's worth, one of the architecture firms I encountered in my evaluation committee work at Aventura, they're small, and they were very impressive. They made the cut.
Good.
Consensus of council.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
Okay, we have the presentation left.
And a discussion item. And the
And a
presentation,
discussion.
a special presentation, Village of Key Biscayne Annual Comprehensive Financial Report given by Andrew S. Fierman with Caballero, Fierman, Lorena, and Garcia LLP.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to turn it over to Andrew from our independent accounting firm, Caballero, Fierman, Lorena, and Garcia. I would just like to, the elephant in the room, the timing of the audit, it's not a surprise, it is later this year. It is June 30th, which is the state deadline. We did have a serious illness within the finance department and did not have the staffing to be able to get it to our normal gold standard, which is the end of March. So I fully anticipate us to be back to that March deadline that we set internally on ourselves. So this year is why you're getting it now, kind of in summertime as we're doing the budget. So I'll hand it over to Andrew, who's going to walk you quickly through the financial report.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. Once again, for the record, my name is Andrew Fierman, and I'm a partner with Caballero, Fierman, Lorena, and Garcia, and I am the partner in charge of the village's audit. I'm going to provide a brief presentation on your annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year September 30th, 2025. I'm going to go right into the our auditor's report. It's broken up into various sections. I'm just going to paraphrase a few things and explain a few things within there. The first section is our opinion section. That's the most important section. It talks about what we've audited as well as our opinion on the financial statements, and that states that we have audited the accompanying financial statements of the Village of Key Biscayne, Florida, as of and for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2025. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position of the village as of September 30th, 2025. Now, that's an unmodified or a clean opinion. That's, of course, the only opinion you want on your financial statements. So clean opinion once again this year in your financial statements. The next section talks about what management's responsibilities are for the financial statements. The section after that talks about what our responsibilities are as auditors, and that states that our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement and to issue an opinion on the financial statements. So that's what I wanted to point out within the auditor's report, clean opinion, and just to mention that it does talk about management's responsibilities as well as auditor's responsibilities within there. The next thing I'd like to point out is the management discussion analysis. What I wanted to mention here, this is about 10 to 15 pages of the entire document, which is like over 100 pages. It talks about the year, it compares current year to prior year, and it's written from management's perspective. So there's a lot of good information within here. It's a really good summary of the results of the year within here. So again, if anybody doesn't read anything else in the document, read this. It really has a lot of really good information within there. And that's within the financial section of the report. The next section gets into what the actual financial statements. The main thing that I'd like to point out within here is the balance sheet of your general fund, which is here to the left. This is the balance sheet of September 30th, 2025 of the general fund, the operating fund of the village. A snapshot at September 30th, 2025. Down at the bottom, the third line from the bottom, there is the second line from the bottom, total fund balances at the end of the year were approximately $31.9 million in the general fund at the end of the year. Now I'm going to move all the way to the back of the report. We're going to move into the compliance section. The compliance section that we're going to get into now is the section that includes the reports that we have that are required under generally accepted government auditing standards, as well as the rules of the Auditor General of the State of Florida. Within these reports back here, we did not identify any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal control, nor did our tests find any instances of noncompliance. That's on the financial statement side, audit side, as well as on the state single audit side, because the village was subject to the Florida single audit this year, and there were two programs that were tested, and we did not find any issues with compliance within those. Nothing significant to report there. Overall, clean reports in the back as well. In addition to that, and you will be receiving a communications letter, and that's the communications to those charged with governance as the council, and it's just specific matters that we're required to discuss with you under our professional standards. Nothing significant to report within there. Just to mention that you're going to see that we did not have any significant difficulties in completing and performing our audit, and we did not have any disagreements with management. Overall, I'd like to thank the finance team, the rest of the village for the cooperation, assistance throughout the process. Once again, we got through the audit, and we were able to be here to present to you, even with the challenges that the finance department had, to be able to present to you, and the village is able to be in compliance with the state statute of submitting by June 30th. So with that, I'll leave it there. I'll open up to any questions that you may have at this time. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present tonight.
Thank you, sir.
In your experience, are we, the extent to which we're funded in our pension obligations, are we a positive outlier in your experience?
The village is with these defined benefit pension plans, yes, the village is positive in that respect, yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for getting it in on time, and hopefully next time we can spend a little bit more time with you on this.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And if anybody has any additional questions after this, feel free to reach out to the manager, and we can set something up. So thank you.
It's not a shy group here, I'm sure. If there's any questions, we'll track you down.
Absolutely.
The pace at which we rolled through the report is the way we like to do things.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Remaining item, a discussion item. FPL installation of hardening equipment and lines.
All
Councilmember
right.
Stoner.
Let's make this quick.
Okay. The manager advised us that FP&L was doing some upgrades, and my understanding is the upgrades are going to be performed along Fernwood, and it's about a third of the length of Fernwood, not more than that. But it does involve hardening, meaning fatter, more substantial poles, fatter wires. And the village, as we all know, has already decided we don't want to go the hardening route. So I did have a discussion with our Public Works Director, but I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that FP&L is on the same page with us about this. I do not want to find out that somewhere down the line, we have made a decision by allowing these improvements to be installed, that we've made a decision that we didn't understand, that we have foregone some kind of financing ability because we have partial hardening, that we're told that it will be a waste of money to get rid of the hardened improvements when we decide to proceed on the full undergrounding, and that we're not making some kind of inadvertent decision that opts us out of opportunities such as the 25% GAF, which I'm not sure if that program is even existing anymore, or anything else. So I would like to ask the manager about that.
Manager.
And also, maybe we should get something in writing from FP&L. Those are my concerns.
Okay, a lot of questions, a lot of points. Chris, if you come up, but let me start the conversation.
Oh,
So,
can I just interrupt you about one thing, one other point I wanted to make, because it did come up when I was talking to Chris. I'm of the understanding that one of the reasons that they're doing these repairs is because of an emergency, and the emergency was something that was discovered or uncovered with the most recent power loss that we had, that's on Crandon and kind of in that area, Crandon by Winn-Dixie or by the medical building. But that the repairs are actually going to be backup, so that if there's a power outage for some reason, that it's going to be backup service for the other side of Crandon. And if that's true, it doesn't make any sense to me, because the power outage that we suffered in the condos last year for a day or so wouldn't make an emergency for now. If it was an emergency, it would have been an emergency months and months ago. So I don't want to find out that we're using emergency to accomplish something that's not really emergent. Maybe they could do the repair what's there, because it is only going to be temporary. So I'm sorry to have interrupted you.
So thank you, council members. So they've never used the word emergency. If Public Works Director did, then he may have used it improperly. They've always come to us, and they came to us maybe about 2 months ago or so, for system improvements, is what they've called this. It's a system improvement. And looks like Chris has it up right now. So just to be clear on what they plan to do, Chris, if you can throw the cursor down. So coming from West Mazda, can you put your cursor there, Chris?
Yes.
Along Fernwood, going north, up, down to West Mazda.
Yes.
Go down. South,
Going
south,
down.
south, south, south.
Yeah, I'm trying to get past.
So they're going to
Yes.
come up through there, which is the work that they started on Monday, which was yesterday. Go ahead and run the line, if you would.
So they will upgrade the line behind the townhouses here and behind the commercial properties up to Westwood Drive. This portion along Westwood Drive has already been upgraded, but it will tie back in to the lines that are behind the homes along Fernwood all the way north to McIntyre, and it actually crosses approximately after this first home
Right there.
back over to the east side of Fernwood.
Chris, when you say upgrade, you talk about putting in new conductors?
They're replacing the poles and replacing the lines along that run. They're also adding some new transformers overhead and possibly one underground that they would need to upgrade.
Answering Nancy's question, is it the same kind of poles we have today, or are they more reinforced, taller, larger,
They're larger to support the new lines.
and they're taller?
So the reason why they're doing this is to put in more capacity lines, bigger lines, thicker lines. What happened was, you can zoom back out, Chris. If you recall last year when we had the double contingency in the Garden District, which supported the condos the council member Stoner was talking about, what we didn't know, there's also a third line that loops into it, which is the one that we just showed you right there, the one that comes down behind Fernwood, and it actually loops back around and supports the eastern part of the island. It also supports the commercial district as well. What we didn't know, which we actually found out in this conversation, is that one of those lines actually melted during that time period, because once those other two lines went down, it went over capacity. But that they were able to get the other two up in time. So we were almost at the point, I presume, I haven't heard this word, maybe triple contingency. Hopefully that wasn't the word. So I understand your concern, but this is truly just a system improvement. You know, if we want to get in writing as to whether we lose anything, I can imagine we can do that. But they haven't said that this eliminates our ability to underground. That is not in any of our current zones. Can you zoom back out, maybe slide down south a little bit? Zone 8 is the Garden District, which is the one that we're currently moving forward on. Zone 1 is actually west, unless, am I correct, Roland?
Correct.
West of that line? I believe that's Zone 6 that runs down the middle. So that won't be done for quite a while.
Why couldn't we just do the undergrounding of that now instead of doing the hardening?
They don't have the budget, and they will not do that.
But if we were to pay for that, which we would be paying for undergrounding if we're going to do undergrounding. So instead of doing hardening, I'm not saying it is possible. I'm really asking you why.
We've asked that. They said they need it done quicker than that. Now, can we go back and ask them again? We'll certainly do that again if you'd like us to.
What's their investment on this?
What do you mean?
Money-wise?
Yeah.
They haven't given us a number.
The question where we started from, this is not a bait and switch here. We are continuing with our undergrounding program.
Correct.
And if they so desire, FPL, to do hardening because they feel that that's in the best interest of their customers here, and as long as it doesn't interfere with our future undergrounding, then, right,
That is how they explained it to us, correct?
I understand the investment issue. I guess the question would be on the hardening improvements, if we complete that today and we comply with that schedule, whether that would eventually, when we underground it, would that become a stranded investment? Meaning we're hardening right now, then they come in and they underground. Are we left with a redundancy, or what are we left with? Because I think if I understand Councilmember Stoner's comment, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to make sure that we do it correctly. We do it once and we do it well, right? That's.
Well, I don't want to find out that we already hardened something and so that ended up being a commitment
Exactly.
somehow.
And
Right.
I'm concerned about leaving a stranded investment there because we have to underground. Because once they underground, and that will be left out as a redundancy that's built because we had to address a so-called scheduled issue. So I get it. This is when projects overlap. And so my question to you is, do you guys have any thoughts about that?
There already are portions that have been improved along this area, the Westwood Drive portion that I spoke about, where they cross the street and they come back behind the homes. That portion's already been upgraded by FPL. It was upgraded approximately 2 months ago. And FPL continues to maintain their system. This is what they consider as a need for their system.
Look,
Their current system.
I think we're all overthinking this. I think that perhaps we might think that there is, something going on behind it. We will certainly check to see if there is. But what is presented to us is this is simply just a system improvement, primarily because what happened last year on the eastern side of the island. But they're also benefiting on the western side of the island with this feeder as well. So
I
that is the way
appreciate
it's
that.
expressed to us.
I appreciate, but are we doing, I guess the question is, are we doing any specific investment on this? Do we have to apportion any money for this?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm
So I would like to ask for two things. One, I want to make sure that it's, when we do underground, it's not going to be more expensive for us to take this down than something else that we already have, or substantially more expensive. And also to get something from them in writing that says this is not going to impact us negatively from a financial perspective, that we're not going to lose because of this installation, some of the financial advantages that we are looking forward to using for the undergrounding project.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I suppose one third question occurs to me. If the poles are going to be the concrete pylons, like a la McIntyre, I'd like to know that.
Excuse me? I'm not sure what you said.
The big reinforced.
The poles, okay, I thought you said holes.
Poles.
Yeah, we'll find out exactly what size poles they are. In some cases, they said they're not going to need some of the large poles, and I think the ones behind the condos will not be the large
Correct.
ones. But we'll get the exact, in fact, we have the permit
We have
plans.
the
We've got it,
information.
and we'll be happy to share it with you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's go on to our purpose. Motion to adjourn the special council meeting.
Second.
Moving second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned, special council meeting. Now we start budget workshop.